Hi, I'm Dorian with ActSafe Safety Association. I'm here today to show you how to set up a propane heater. Before we begin, I want to make sure you've got everything you need on site, starting with your manufacturer's instructions that you've read and understood. Then you'll need your dolly along with your hose and approved propane tank safely strapped as well. Next, I need those soap and water bubbles ready to do a leak test, some cones for protection, and of course your propane heater. Now, before we get started on lighting this heater, we need to make sure that we've properly inspected the equipment. So I want you to start with the propane hose. I need you to do a thorough inspection of this hose, looking for any cracks, kinks, or deformities. Once you get to the threads, I need to make sure that those are clean and undamaged. When you get to the regulator, there should be a tag to inspect, as well as a tag on the hose itself. As for the tank, we want to make sure that that is in the closed position still, with its protective cap installed. Looking at the tank, we need to make sure it's got no damages, bulges, cracks, or deformities as well as a tank color with a date stamp. Go back to those manufacturer's instructions and make sure that those match the heater we're using. We don't want any damages or anything out of the ordinary. So we finished inspecting our equipment and we've started to set up our work zone. We got our tank set on a firm, level, non-combustible surface with conage around it for protection. Next, I want to start making the connections. You also need to remove the protective cap from the hose. Verifying it's still in the closed position, start making this connection. You'll notice that the threading is reversed than what you're maybe used to. Now, it's important that we're only going hand tight here, unless the manufacturer's instructions recommends we use a wrench. So now that we've set up the propane side, let's make that heater side connection. Making sure that you are at least 10 feet away from a door opening and 6 feet away from a tank, let's make this connection. There will be a protective cap you'll need to remove on here as well. And start making that connection. You'll notice it's now the normal type of threading. Now, before actually lighting this heater, we want to do a leak test on our connections. So we'll start by slowly opening the tank. Starting at the tank, start spraying your soap and water solution liberally. You're checking all the connections for any bubbles. Then work your way all the way down the hose to the heater. So I followed the hose all the way along. I'm going to finish off by going right to the heater, looking for any bubbles on that connection as well. Now, it's important to note if you do have any bubbles during this process that you turn off the tank, you remake the connections, and you try the leak test again. If the bubbles are still persistent after that, it's best to take those parts out of service. So, now that everything's connected and your leak test is done, let's start lighting this. What we need to make sure is that you have your manufacturer's instructions nearby, because every heater is different. For this particular model, it does have a primer switch that I'm going to hold in for 5 seconds, then push down on the igniter. Now, I'm going to keep that primer held in for a minute, according to my manufacturer's instructions. It's lit, it's producing heat, I'm making sure that there's no combustibles about 6 feet around my unit, and I'm standing back at least 4.5 feet enjoying that heat. So I finished using my heater for the day, it's time to shut it down. Now, you need to again refer to those manufacturer's instructions to see if yours has an on-off switch or not. This one does not. I'll actually have to go back to the tank and turn off the main valve. You want to do this slowly and keep your ears nearby and listen for the stopping of that tank hissing. Awesome. Now, before you actually disconnect anything, wait 5 minutes for any low-lying gas to dissipate. In closing, your manufacturer's instructions are the most important piece of this process. They give you actual information on your unit itself. Please refer to the ActSafe PowerPoint and the Propane Heater Safety Awareness course for further information, or reach out to your safety advisor if you have any other questions. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.